Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm in Brazil and I'm gonna work with my student on this beautiful black pine.
This beautiful field grow Japanese black pine is from the production of Francisco Correa in Brazil along 20 years of work. With a saw, I start removing the unnecessary branches and also shorting the long branches that originally in the field were used to thick up the trunk. Now the goal is to give a new inclination towards the left side so we can highlight the movement and also get the bigger trunk more dominant towards the little trunk. After that, what we do with the student is to remove the bark from the gin so we can prepare the wood to be stretched and create the taper. Before that is important on black pine because they have a lot of sap to secure a piece of wire at the base of the future gin. This will help us to avoid excessive loss of sap and also prevent eventually dieback from those areas. Tonico and Andrea are doing a great job creating the gin, but we want to leave the final touch for the master. So Andres Bicocca, that is participating to the event, is helping us to create a beautiful finishing for this gin, stretching down the fibers of the wood and create that natural contrast and dynamism in the gin that will help for the final aesthetic of the work. Before the wiring job, is important to select the ramification. We want to subdivide every branch two and two from inside outside to have a good structure. Now we take the time and we protect all the major branches with raffia and plastic tape. These will give a little bit of an extra protection while we'll bend the branches to compact the tree. Japanese black pine is not as flexible as other type of pines, like Scots pine, for example. So I always like to protect the branches to be sure to avoid breaking during manipulation. And after that protection, we can concentrate and start wiring the structure and all the final branches. Normally, what I do, I position the structural wire in the primary branches, thinking on the direction and the torsion, and then my students follow up my work with the final wire until everything is done. In the meantime, I can also take some time and start with some movement of the primary structure and bringing down some of the branches in the future position. Now that the wiring job is almost finished, I can sit and start from the lower branch up with the positioning of the structure. What I normally do, I start manipulating the lower branch, pushing in the position, but especially for this tree, I do the job for steps. I push a little bit, I wait the fiber to release, and then I push a little bit more while I keep opening secondary and tertiary branch. This gives the tree the time to accept the new position, and so I don't give too much stress to the fibers at the same time. I also like to use guy wire in this first styling, so I don't have to overwire the structure, but just have the right amount of wire to hold the fiber and move the tension. I start also pushing the second apex, the apex of the lower left tree. That part has to go back and then the upper part has to come forward again. As you can see, all the wire is positioned already thinking on that movement. The work keep going smooth, refining and moving the structure in the future position, compacting this tree and creating the geometry, filling the spaces is the goal for this first work. Also, Chiron, an advanced student from the Juniper Bonsai School I did in Brazil, is helping us to finish up the tree. And you can already see from this angle how nice and dynamic is the new line of the trunk with the new inclination and a little bit the start of the positioning of the first pads. Now everyone is focused to finish up the fine branches in the two tops so we can complete the styling. We are now finishing up the apexes and positioning the final branches. It's very important always to step back, look at the tree from far, and see how the work is doing and how the final result is coming up. Starting from the imagination and thinking of the final product, the start of the work, we move up along the work and we fulfill all the spaces and the line that before we imagine. Obviously, not always is possible to put all the branches in the perfect position right away, but it's good to start pushing the branches down, and in eventually the next work we can create more movement, we can move them down a little bit more. Now I'm focusing on moving the apex of the main tree, giving a little bit more of a left look over to create that link that will make all the composition getting together and going to the final result. Here we are with the final product. The good job of the team always pays back, and we have another material transformed in a future beautiful bonsai.
guys, I'm so proud and happy to welcome this upcoming 2024 with my new book, Bonsai Dream number 2, with a lot of articles and great bonsai transformation. So if you are interested, send me an email.